Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I want to talk about the Horizon Forbidden West, the Burning Shores DLC. Now, I've already put out my review. This is going to contain spoilers. This talk that I'm going to have right now, because I made a video talking about the addition of the LGBTQ content in this game. So I want to talk about this for a minute. And this just goes for gaming in general, having the inclusivity and all of this coming into the gaming sphere now, because it is looking like it is becoming more prominent. So if you're an older gamer like myself, you're gonna run into these things fairly often, it seems like these days. We're going through a time where times are starting to change, and they're going after more of the younger generation and the youth and what's cool and what's hip and all of that stuff, like they did for us when we were younger. Like gamers in my generation, man, we've been from 2D side scrolling games all the way up to everything. Like we've pretty much been there for all of it. So I would like to think that like Sony and Xbox and all of these other, video gaming places are actually still trying to compete for and get our business as well. And that's kind of what I mean in this overall freaking scheme of things. I'm not homophobic. I just don't care for LGBT content. Like I just don't care. Like it's just like I look at it and it literally does nothing for me. Like I'm just like, oh man, like seriously, really? Like I don't care about that stuff. To me, honestly, with it being put into video games, like I understand like TV shows, the movies, stuff like that. Like I 100% get that. But with it being crammed into video games, to me it just seems cringe. It just seems cringe. Like I'm just like, wow, dude, why are they putting this in there? Like what does it do for, like, what does it do to make the game better? Now, I'm going to answer that question really quick, because in my playthrough of Burning Shores, I did choose the romantic ending for Aloy and Seika. When you get to that part, like I said, spoilers. If you don't want any spoilers, just move along right now, because this is going to be a spoiler part. So when you get to that part, Seika's like, hey, after you beat the last boss, Seika's like, hey, I want you to meet me back at the spot where we first met. So you go back there and they start talking, and it gives you the option. You could be like, no, I'm not ready for that, or no, that's not my thing, or yeah, like, and the way that the characters were looking at each other. Because I was just going to like skip right through it and just be like, whatever, I'm just going to not pick that. But the way the characters were looking at each other and the way the tone was feeling, it felt like it would have just been, it felt like it would have felt more odd had I not chosen that path than choosing it. Because they did a good job with this. It turned out pretty good. The way that Aloy and Seika, come together and form that bond, it was actually kind of moving, to be completely honest with you. It was like, wow, man, like, because I personally literally never saw Aloy as the kind of person that would settle down and get in a relationship. Like I never saw her as that. I saw her as like a warrior protector, something that somebody that would just sacrifice herself and her desires and her needs for the greater good. Like that's how I saw Aloy. So being able to see Aloy in a vulnerable position like this, to where there's somebody that not only can pretty much hang with Aloy in terms of combat prowess. Gosh, I'm sorry, I was drinking soda. For somebody that can hang with Aloy and be just as tough and just as cool, and to be able to like help her and be somebody that's not holding her back, or that she's got to save, that's actually almost on even footing with her, I was like, wow, man, that's kind of cool, man. I do like Seika's character. She brought a lot to this DLC. Like this DLC completely made up for the lack of story and just the way that the Horizon Dawn went. Horizon Dawn was a good game. I gave it a 90. I thought it was fine, but the story just kind of fell flat for me. But now when you bring this into it and you put it on top of what Horizon Forbidden West already was, it's a lot better. It's closer to like a, I'm gonna say it's closer to a 10 than it is, a 90 now. But the whole package has to be there. Like you have to have both of them for it to really, for it to really shine the way that I think it does now. I still like Horizon Zero Dawn better. Zero, like, yeah, Aloy's like, the Horizon series is probably my new favorite PlayStation IP. Like I love Horizon. I think it's great. I love the world. I love the world that Guerrilla Games built for that. Like I do, and I'm nothing's gonna change that. And I sat there and I brooded about it all of Friday. After I saw the tweet with that, I brooded about it because I was unsure of how my experience of how it was going to affect my experience. Was I going to get in there and it's just going to be a whole bunch of cringe stuffed in, LGBT content, or is it going to be meaningful? Is it going to add to the experience and make this better? And yeah, it did. It did make it better. It made it feel, because I mean, if you look at all the male characters that Aloy could have been with throughout both games, oh man, seriously, like were any of them good enough to even try to be with Aloy? Like no, man, they were all like, she was stronger than all of them, so it was just like, my gosh, man, it's like you go back and you think about all of that, or they were evil. They were either evil people, or they were they weren't. They were like the best friend zone. Like seriously, they were all best friend zone material, dude. You know what I mean? And I mean Varl, that possibly could have worked, but no, that changed in Horizon Forbidden West. So it did bring something to the experience in a meaningful way, and it was fine. It wasn't like all blown out or over the top or cringe or anything. Like it worked. Like it worked. It really did, was like, it really was like a moment where you're like, wow, I mean, honestly, man, it all had to do with how they were looking at each other, how they were talking to each other. And I mean, it was like you could have went one way with it, but you could just kind of see in their eyes, because the graphics are freaking incredible. You could just see in the eyes that, like, that was the best outcome for Aloy. That was the best outcome for Aloy and for Seika. Seriously, after everything they'd been through and coming together and finding each other, there's no way that I could have been like, yeah, I don't know. There was just no way, man. Like, this game literally didn't make me choose that, but the writing and the acting and the and just the way they did the lines and everything compelled me to choose that. And I was like, okay, dude, that's cool. Like, what, and that's why I think that this one actually was pretty cool, man, because it gives you the choice, but like it was convincing enough to be like, okay, yeah, because I mean, yeah, dude, I could have went the other way and just been like, no, I'll blow her off, and go with the way that I thought Aloy was, but I don't know, man. Like, something just felt right about that. Maybe I'm not a homophobe no more. I've never been a freaking homophobe. Like, I don't care, man. I've had plenty of gay friends throughout my whole life, and it's just, I just feel like it feels forced in video games. When it comes to video games, guys, I do. I just kind of feel like it feels forced. It doesn't, most of it, like the only ones that are actually any good with it so far that I've come across that were actually any good was I mean, like The Last of Us 2 and this one now. Like, these were pretty good, but like the rest of the games that I like, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, like, dude, that felt cringe. but I mean, it was okay to play that one because like that was historical back in ancient Greece and stuff. I mean, so it didn't really bug me from like oh man, this is like new age cringe. It was like, oh my gosh, man, I forgot, it was kind of cringy back then, like you know what I mean. But it was a lot more um a lot more way of life, as in like, yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could kind of say it's way of life now too. The fact is normally when it's done right, I guess it shouldn't bother us going forward. But at the same time, it can potentially lead to, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I know that there's a lot of older gamers than myself, and I feel like I'm pretty much like in the middle. Like I could go either way. Like I could go staunch against everything, against all the like what everybody's called, what we all call woke these days. I think that woke is something that's like, I mean, it's good to be woke, but at the same time, it can start to get pretty freaking cringe. When I put out my opinion about how I'm feeling about something, and everybody's coming to me and they're just straight like, oh, you're a homophobe, you're a homophobe. That really irritates me. That's like the dumbest thing you could ever say to anybody. Like seriously, like that's very dumb. Just because I have an opinion about how I feel about something in the media and the content that I want to buy and that I want to consume, I have a preference, man. It's just like music. I like country music. Do you like country music? No, you probably don't like country music. You probably don't. You know what I mean? I like to listen to the kind of music I like. You have your kind of music. It's called a preference. It's called a preference. Yeah, every now and then you could probably listen to a country song. Every now and then I could probably listen to whatever you listen to. But I mean, like, I'm not going to just give up everything that I like and go just straight listening to that. And that's kind of the way it feels when it comes to PlayStation first party games now. It's like they want me to give up everything that I love and just start accepting like a whole new genre or a whole new way of thinking when it comes to video games. And I liked Kratos as a freaking toxic masculinity dude. Like I liked him as that. I really did like him as that. And now I've got like the softy the softy dad guy. I like Nathan Drake. I thought Nathan Drake was cool, but he disappeared. I like Joel. I thought Joel was cool, but they beat him in the head with a freaking with a golf club. You see where this is going? This is my concern. I don't care about the gay stuff. I don't. I'm not mad about it. I'm not angry about it. I literally don't lose sleep about it. I'm not going to apologize for feeling the way I feel. But if it's going to be cringe and look cringe and feel cringe, I don't care for it. And you shouldn't either. And you shouldn't just jump to defend every single thing. You should listen to other people's concerns, like mine. Like mine. Like there is a real possibility that could damage, the PlayStation brand for older gamers like myself that literally feel like we're being pushed aside so that they can market this stuff however they want. No, man, I want there to be a balance. That's all I'm asking for. I just want a balance. And you should too. You should want a balance. I would love them, like I feel like Horizon can keep going for a long time. Like I do. I feel like it could keep going for a long time, and this is an evolution of Aloy's character. It's fine. I'm okay to lose, Aloy. Not lose Aloy, but I'm okay to let Aloy expand and grow and become something else and still continue to follow her story and still be a part and still support that. But I'm not okay to lose freaking Nathan Drake. I'm not okay to lose Kratos. I'm not okay to lose SOCOM. I'm not okay to keep losing the franchises and the games that I love and having them replaced with other things, man. Like I just want there to be a balance when it comes to the Sony first party output. I get it, man. Donald Trump won the election and everybody freaked out. Everybody lost their freaking mind about that. Everybody was like, oh my gosh, they're going to break the ceiling. Like, I get it, man. People were mad. People were upset. They turned to their work. You know what I mean? Like, okay, like we get it, guys. We get it. Let's move on. Let's repair society. Let's come back to like being good to each other. and, finding a sensible way to bring these issues forward while not alienating the other freaking half of the country, man. Like it's not rocket science, man. You got to understand, like, the older people are starting to age out. They're moving along. It's the younger generation now. Like I get that. There's no need for it. There's literally no need for it, man. There's no need to keep doing that. The old people, like the oldest saying is respect your elders. Respect them. Watch them. Learn from their mistakes. Make things better in the future when it's your turn to lead. Now, I get it. You can't just always sit on the sideline and just let, like, the old people lead, because then you get, like, World War II. But, I mean, these guys aren't doing any good for us, man. They're not doing any good for us anymore. They're really not. And we keep voting for these clowns to bring them into office to just destroy things. Like, I don't know. I don't want to get political, but it's already kind of political when it comes to this type of stuff. As long as the content doesn't feel like a political slogan or political, I'm cool with it. Let's build, some cool stuff. Let's bring in some inclusivity. Let's make everybody that loves to play video games feel welcome. And that's my message. Let's make everybody feel welcome. That's the best way to go forward. Let's not drop anybody else. Let's make everything feel good. Now, I mean, we had Horizon Burning Shores, and then we had Dead Island 2. So I got a perfect mix of both toxic masculinity and vulgar humor and Burning Shores. And it's great. It's great, man. I love being a gamer. I love being able to explore this stuff and have fun. So that's my message on this, man. I'm okay with it. I think it turned out pretty good. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, man. We will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.